Welcome to season 3 of the POV podcast. My name is Katrina. Season 3 is all about African stories and African leaders. And anyone who joins us on this seat is an African leader in their own realm. My guest today is known as Lorraine Shiku. And the one thing I like about Shiko is her business mind tells women that they can literally carve their own path. Moving from agency, advertising, and creating your own business is not something easily anyone can do. But being focused on what you want in life is something that you have to do if you really want to leave a name for yourself. I know you've seen the name Kipusa Beauty, Kipusa Homes, Kipusa Enterprises. You've seen it all over Kenya. If you haven't, labda unaishi chini ya mawe. And of course, our guest is going to be telling us about that, her journey in business and her personal journey. Welcome, Shiko.
Thank you. Thank
I
you so
re-
much. Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month. My goodness.
Thank you.
We celebrate women and what they do, and one of the heaviest things we always celebrate is the journey to becoming who you are. The journey of Shiko started in agency, sindio?
Before agency, slightly before the agency.
So when did you start working?
4, 5. I was
What?
working in my parents' cafe when I was 5. They had a cafe in Gara, and I knew how to, the chips cutter. I
Mm.
used to do that.
Allah.
Yeah, so my dad was very strict, and
Mhm.
we weren't allowed to hang out with neighbors on the weekend.
Okay.
So you carry your homework, you go to the cafe, and you work.
Yes.
So we'd serve mandazis, we'd cut chips with a cutter, and imagine your hands are so small. If
You're
that
short.
thing,
A 5-year-old is
we
very
used to
short.
stand on stools. We would be
Allah.
given stools and would stand and cut chips.
Yeah.
It was hectic, but every Saturday I knew was for work.
This is you and your brother.
All of us, we were 4 children,
4 kids, yeah.
and my parents would all go to work together, do your homework, and then you work in the afternoon.
I know you're tiffing on who's going to wash the dishes, nani anakata viazi leo. Who
Imagine.
ended up doing most of the work? Tuseme tu kweli. Is
All
it
of
you?
us. All
I
of
know there's
us.
person mulivurutana sana.
No, we equally did all the work.
Yeah.
My dad was very strict.
Okay.
So equally, everybody.
That's very interesting. And of course, it was a skill that had to be taught to the children to understand where their food comes from.
Where their food comes from.
Were you guys being paid?
No. Why? By what?
This is free
For what?
labor. Free labor.
Never. We were never paid. It was more of a value system, just discipline,
Okay.
being taught how to get to work on time, how to deal with customers, because we used to interact with customers. And the cafe was in Gara. We used to deal with chokoras. Yes, my dad and mom used to give them free food every lunchtime. We used to deal with politicians. We used to deal with school-going kids. It was interesting. And then after that, they closed the business and changed it to hardware. So I've sold cement, bags of cement. By the time I was 15, I could sell bags of cement. I knew profit and loss. I knew how to negotiate. I sold batteries, chloride oxide batteries, wholesale. So we were doing bulk selling.
Okay.
I knew how to sell brake pads, clutches, all those things.
Madam.
So by 18, I already knew how a business should work and what profit and everything.
Did that guide the decision you're going to make in university and what you're going to do?
Not really.
Yeah.
I went to school just because I had to.
It didn't inspire me
So,
like, tufanye mambo ya business sasa. Juu.
no, I just did international business because I was like, okay, I just want to take a course. So I just took business. I was like, I wanted to be a lawyer growing up, but
Yeah.
then when I realized how much reading I had to do, I was like, scratch that. No,
No thanks.
no, thank you. Not at all.
It's very interesting to hear people's journey, especially when you look back at, little Shiko amesimama kwa stool, ndio huyo anapika chipo, ndio huyo anauza simiti, to now who you are as a
Yeah.
person. If there's a message you'd ever have for that little Shiko, the one who's peeling potatoes, what would you tell her?
Life is unpredictable.
Yeah.
What your plans are and what happens, you have no control.
You think
It's
so?
adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adapting. I have a new name right now. I never knew I'd be Amina. Because of opening a business in Isile,
Yeah.
they don't even know my Christian name.
Yeah.
So I'm Amina there. They love the name and I adopted it. Yeah. So just be adaptable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's to be malleable and to be someone who can adapt to changes. It means you can thrive in any industry.
Exactly.
And one thing I really like about Shiko is she diverses her portfolio. The first time we met, it was Kipusa Beauty. That was the center. And of course, being a farmer. She's a mkulima pia. the Kipusa home came a little bit later. So malleability is something someone has to have in business. What do you feel about malleability when it comes to personal life? Because you have things that you stick by. You're like, I would never do this. I would never go there. I would never date this kind of people. Do you apply that in personal life when it comes to malleability? You're flexible.
We're flexible, but remember, business people, we are very assertive. So even your personal life is you run it like a business.
Okay.
So if your profit and loss in your personal balance sheet means you want good friends, you're going to keep only good friends, few good friends,
Okay.
because your profit is higher with a few good friends you keep around you. Rest days, obeying that your body cannot overproduce what you're not giving it. So being able to take downtime, balancing your work and your personal time, making time for the things you like, your talents, learning new things. Business means you have to keep learning, and your personal life, you can't go home to catch your favorite show instead of learning something new.
Allah.
So it's all about reading and learning new stuff in your personal time that can impact your business.
Yes.
Creating those social currency networks. And when I say social currency, it's not hanging out with people who have money, but people who add value to your mindset and your value system, and also impact how you do your business. Because for me, I think we have our value system is based on honesty, integrity, and just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Not cutting corners.
Mm.
So if your company that you have is for cutting corners, familiarity will breed contempt.
For
So
sure.
I don't.
You've mentioned something about friends, and I wonder, do you do business with your friends? Have you
No.
done it, and how does it work?
No.
Just off the bat, no.
No.
Why?
Business and friendship doesn't work.
Really?
No.
But for some of the people you've done business with, you end up, maybe crossing the line and becoming a little bit friendly. It happens.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, please.
And I want to demystify a few things.
Mm.
Your biggest supporters are strangers,
Facts.
not your friends who know you've done something since 2013. Very few friends are supportive like people who don't know you. You find a stranger walking in. I have made stronger relationships in business with strangers. Our biggest support is people who don't know us.
Yeah.
People who don't care where you live, don't know who your parents are, they don't care about your age, but they believe in your journey. Just from the output, when they see the retail stores, they see what our staff are presenting, they are interested. And I think when God puts you somewhere, He puts your clients for you. Whether they're friends, they're not friends, He puts them. I also believe it's a thin line, so you have to separate it.
It's essential because when
Exactly.
friendship gets in the mix, it's end up being messy. Have you ever experienced it? Have you ever
No,
worked with
never.
umekata tangu the word go?
Never.
Even when in your early 20s, you're trying so many new things. Where
No, that I've been very categorical about.
where did you learn that from?
My parents,
Yeah.
they worked with each other.
Mm,
They learned from their friends.
mm,
They had good mentors and people who inspired them. So I have friends who mentor the business.
yeah.
I have an advisory board that mentors my business, but it is friends who I take in high regard in professional setups who actually come and say, Lorraine, this is not working and we think you should do this. They are coming from a board regulatory perspective and advice,
Okay.
strategic advice. So I value that, but business and pleasure never.
Yeah.
It doesn't mix.
I think I've seen it in the male side of things. I've seen men do that a lot. They do business with their friends, and you find it ends up being into a boys' club a lot of times.
Yes.
Where you want to even get into a certain industry, and you realize, oh, you have to be in this boys' club to be able to get access to certain kinds of money.
Yes.
And I know it's always a struggle, especially for women coming into any new business. When you were starting out Kipusa Beauty, and you have to try it out. She's one of the fast leaders. I remember I told you this on the phone. You were a little bit away, not a little bit, a lot ahead of her time. She was selling sea moss, ashwagandha, all these oils. We're talking avocado oil, black seed oils. Right now that they've become so popular, you were selling them back in 2019. And I can imagine getting into that industry. There are already people who are doing those sales before you. Did you encounter any resistance? How was it getting into a new industry?
It was fine. It was easy
Yeah.
because I was very sure of myself and I
Okay.
was very sure of the products and I was very sure that, if you educate people on something, they understand it. Customers are brilliant people.
Yeah.
Children, everybody understands when they come in. They
Yes.
understand the value of CMOS. They'll buy it as long as you have the information. One thing I can say about business is you have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in your vision. If
Okay.
you don't, people won't believe you. So for me, I was very confident about it and I was not scared. You can't push your agenda when you have fear. And
Okay.
the Bible also tells us fear is not from God.
Yeah.
So I don't fear. I don't fear, and I encourage even the staff. Don't fear. When you want to push your agenda, if you understand this thing very well and you explain it to a stranger, they'll buy into it.
The perspective of having to sell this belief even to a new member of staff, because a lot of staff come in for just their own profit. I get a salary, me, I'm out. They might understand the perspective of how does a business sustain all these years. And even for them, the struggle of having to educate them through all maybe a catalog of some of the products. How do you handle that? You have to train people,
It's
and then there's a risk of training people and they go apply it in their own system. Ama they don't even use it. Like, how is it dealing with staff altogether? Because as a business person, that's one of the things I believe in. No one can work by themselves. You work with people, you work with staff. How do you handle that?
If you want to go faster, you go alone.
Allah.
If you want to go further, you go with people. It is a big thing for me to go forward with my team. There's constant training. They're always being educated on new products that are coming on board. We have training every week
Allah.
with the teams, all teams.
Okay.
And
Training is expensive, Shiko.
it is, but we have to because in the world that we are in, especially of skincare and hair care, you can't just chance. You have to be factual with your information. They have to understand how these products work. We give them the products. They have to use them. They have to experience. They have to touch. They have to feel. So when you're selling it to a customer, they are able to understand what exactly it does. Secondly, there has to be buy-in from them because they are the brand ambassadors. I am there, but they are the real brand ambassadors because
Because
when
they're
people
on the
come in, they're on the
ground.
ground.
Yes.
And they're the ones who clients can push, come, shove, will ask them all the questions. I'm not in the stores every time, or I can't be in all stores at the same time.
Yes.
So we do have our weekly meetings, we do have weekly trainings, and there's also empowerment where they know as a team they're allowed to interact with their customers, chat them, WhatsApp them, get into the customer database, and actually tell the clients we have this new thing, that new thing, this is what it does. Another thing is they've seen how the products work because they use them.
Okay.
So it's so much easier for them. Yeah, it's so much easier. The shift is, to be honest, to stay competitive, you have to keep introducing new things. You have to have new product development. You have to be able to introduce the new things in the market or things that you think people would like, items and offerings. So for me, it's not difficult. It's effortless.
I like that. And when you already have the belief in your mind that this is going to work out, that's what you carry out.
Exactly.
And I feel like as a leader, it puts confidence even with your staff.
It does.
You
It
know?
does. It
How
does.
did 2020 affect you and the shift in the economy? Because that was a trying time for everyone. It changed the way business is being done for a lot of people.
COVID.
Yes.
That was the best time of my life.
You a joke. No, Shiko, you can't be in this wonderland.
COVID was the best time of my life as a business person
Yes.
because a pandemic doesn't mean that your business will struggle.
Okay.
It showed me if you can survive a pandemic, you can survive anything.
You survived the
It was the
pandemic.
best years of our lives at Kipusa.
Yeah.
We didn't fire any staff, we didn't reduce any salaries, and our sales were higher
Okay.
because we maintained normalcy. When I say normalcy, we worked within the curfew timings and everything, but our staff we did not change anything.
Okay.
And with the curfews, it made an attitude shift. You find people were coming out so much more because they knew they only had between 6 to do their things.
Yes.
So our customer traffic went up. We never stopped. We didn't destock any suppliers. All our suppliers remained on board. I just decided we're going to remain normal. We're going to continue as is, even if there's a pandemic. We are not going to change anything. We even opened a branch
Allah.
during the pandemic, and that was the current branch.
Okay.
And it gave more confidence to our staff. It gave more confidence to our customers, and even our suppliers. We had 12 suppliers before opening Karen, and we got up to 29 during a pandemic because we maintained stability, we maintained consistency, and our doors didn't shut. There was a power with the doors not shutting. When people were scared and everything, I said, no, I'm going to pay extra for the staff's transport because the matatus had reduced 3 people per seat, if I'm not wrong, 3 people per line instead of the normal 32. And we continued. We continued, but it was a risky decision, or should I say a decision that I had to make that wasn't easy because it would have been easier to stay home, but no.
And cower like everyone else, because
would go to work.
The news everywhere was, it's bad.
I know.
It's bad. It's shaky.
Would go to work. We would wear our masks. We would be protective. There was no samples on the shelves. We changed everything to suit that pandemic. And in a positive way, not a negative way. If it was everything that was required during the pandemic, we abided by it and did it.
I think it's very courageous. But also, I think one of the things that might have propelled is the line that Shiko pushes is a lot of natural and homemade and natural made products. And I think that's the time everyone was turning to, we need to be healthier. I think the wave of healthier was really in line with the business that you were doing.
Exactly.
I think sometimes things align in the right timing, you
Exactly.
know? Do you feel like Kenyans are now better consumers of natural products? Ama bado hawajashika mambo?
No, they're on the bike.
Yeah?
They're on the bike. They're pedaling. They're fastly pedaling. A reason I say so is because it's a vibrant market.
Yeah.
People like more eco beauty offerings, natural offerings. Your mom, your dad, everybody is bought into it. Younger guys actually even want younger.
Yeah.
I mean, natural offerings for their hair, for their face, because again, you can't give a child cosmetics too early. So it's everybody's sold in.
You call them offerings?
Yes, we call them offerings, soul care offerings. Reason being, you find somebody comes with acne and they'll tell you, I want this product so I can feel better about myself. My face, my self-esteem is a bit low because I have all these marks. So we call it soul care.
Okay.
The world of soul care, because when your hair is long, it's grown, you feel good about it. When your face is healthy, your skin is healthy, you don't have to have perfect skin. Nobody has. We get breakouts here and
Ones
there.
are for women.
We get breakouts.
Periods, whatever. Sometimes, the hormones be misbehaving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a soul care. We call ourselves the soul care experts, and all our offerings are soul care offerings because they make you feel a certain way.
I really like that.
COVID, if I must also mention, breeded Case Copy. Case Copy has recently been rebranded to Kipusa Print. So I never envisioned owning a cyber in my life. I still don't know how to photocopy, print, and scan. Fun fact.
Yes.
But I learned. But it was an essential service. I had no
Was
idea.
it from a personal experience, Emma? Why did you pick it up? Because even me, I saw it because I follow her personal page and I'm like, girl, everyone is moving away from cyber solutions, especially in the home areas, because now everyone has a printer. Why would you make this decision?
Because not everyone has a printer.
Still.
It is a facade, or should I say an image.
I don't even have it. I don't know why I'm saying it. That is Sina.
People have laptops, but they don't have a print and scan option. And then bulk printing. So if you have a school assignment, like my biggest customers are kids in school. We're doing revision papers. We're doing Form 4 mock papers, stuff like that. People are reading from previous years.
Yes.
Lawyers, tenders, they don't have those big custom machines. So you find they'll come to us. And I keep telling ladies, I didn't know a business for 5 shillings, 20 shillings, and 100 shillings would break even within 3 months.
Allah.
Don't despise small beginnings. The fact that someone is paying 5 shillings, that customer can be your customer for 500 times. It's profit.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was something I risked. I spoke to a mentor of mine about it, and they said, you know what, get into it. And it was somebody who was actually a bit, he felt like the business wasn't working for him. So it was a handover.
Yeah.
So I just acquired the business.
Okay, that's wise. And that's the thing. Sometimes you have to be in the right position. Of course, have some shilling in your pocket, and you can omoka something. I remember the late CK. He used to say that a lot. He used to salvage a couple of businesses, and it would work for him.
Exactly.
There's one thing very inspiring about doing business is the toughness of it. And
you have to be super tough.
And I'm like, okay, Lorraine during office hours and Lorraine off office hours? Does she know to switch? They stay the same on both
No,
sides.
you switch.
How?
You
How do you
switch.
remember to switch?
When I walk home
Mm,
into the door,
mm.
kipusa is not existent.
Ai.
It isn't.
Sitapigia simu Soja anasema.
But my element is not at kipusa.
Yeah.
I'm home.
Mm,
Lorraine at home wants to cook a meal, wants to host her friends, wants to have a good glass of bubbly,
yeah.
I'm very into decor, so I just want to check on my home. I want to improve things. I want to watch things that inspire my mind. I want to read biographies. I'm
Yeah.
reading actually a current biography of Ronald Mengi,
Mm.
amazing
Oh,
businessman.
yeah, from
The
Tanzania.
late Mengi from EATV,
Yeah.
amazing. So I want to feed my soul and my mind with things that appeal to Lorraine.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you come to this person? Because we live in a world where a lot of trash is thrown to you, either on socials, just out and about. The world is really, when I look back, I won't lie, the world really throws trash to us to watch, to consume, even with friends sometimes. How do
Yeah.
you maintain to be in that I want to be educated? Because you've mentioned about learning. Like, do I run home to watch a movie or do I learn something new? How do you stick to that? And how did Shiko learn to be that person? Because there's not so many women your age who are able to do the things you do, or even to say the things that you've done.
My dad.
Yeah.
My mom and dad were strict. Growing up, every Saturday I went for a cooking class, a squash class, a swimming class, a hockey class, a tennis class. Every holiday we learnt a skill. You would either go for swimming, you'd either go for squash lessons, you'd either we were learning every Saturday and
Aye.
every holiday
They kept your
because
mind busy.
busy. They didn't want you hanging out next door. And I appreciate that. I value them so much till
But then,
today.
you have to have friends, Shiko. You
Your
have to.
social came from your learning. So you'd be
Allah.
swimming with other kids who have come for swimming class or squash with other kids learning how to play squash. So the environment was you're not on your tab or the computer or playing games. No.
Mm-mm.
It was learn. We even used to go for Opus Dei classes. I remember that in
Okay.
Kianda, and I was like, are we okay? But
Even me, I'm like, yo,
but it
Baba
was a way of
Shiko, you're
keeping us
pushing it, my dear.
busy. And we went to all convent schools and brother schools because my dad was like, keep them in the church. My dad was like, keep them in the church, keep them for 12 years.
What was he afraid of? Because that's too much. I won't lie. It's
I
because
think just the fact that the world is changing. Remember their time in the 60s, and then now here we are in the 80s, and now here we are in 2025. Things are changing.
yeah,
So you want to expose your kids, but you don't want them to experience some things.
yes,
So I think that's what he was doing, just keeping us covered from some things as you learn and expand your mind. In school, we swam, we played hockey, tennis, played piano. Piano, I didn't know had a very, very, very important effect on your IQ
yo, it
because
does.
coordinating grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 till grade, I think it was 12. I quit even halfway because I was tired. Your hands and your brain, it needs very smart people
I've
to do
always
that.
wanted to try it.
You should. It improves
Yeah,
your IQ.
that and
It
chess.
does.
So that's
And chess, yes.
I'm being sharp.
Exactly.
I think it's really essential. But there's one thing that I see you post about a lot. Your father, and sadly he passed away, and the memory of him not being here. And I know there's so many things you picked up. What is the one memory that always, like, this is the one most joyful memory you have of him?
He was a nice guy.
Yeah. Your mom was lucky, eh?
He was a
Aliangukia?
handsome guy.
Mama aliangukia.
Aliangukia, very handsome guy.
Yeah.
He stood by his guns. One thing I liked about him,
Yeah.
he never like changed
Yes.
for anybody. If he believed in something, he'd go for it.
Yeah.
And he loved people so much. In Kikuyu, we say people are an asset. I don't know how
Adone
to.
or Ido.
Yes,
That's how you say it.
yes. And he would always believe you can't go somewhere by yourself. You need people.
So even with his strictness, he had partners and
He had
friends.
very strategic partners. He taught us how to have strategic, not time-wasting partners and time-wasting
You
friends.
said that at the beginning, bana. Ni kama itaingia kwa kichwa yangu sasa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if he believed in something, he would do it.
Yeah.
He stood on him values. He stood on his guns. Everyone who sees me says, "Oh my God, you're a splitting image," because I'm very harsh, very strict.
Yes.
If it's 7, I'll be there at 6:20. If it's 11 a.m., I'll be there by 10. So he'd always have this thing of respect my time so that I respect yours. Or
Okay.
let me respect that person's time so they respect mine.
Yeah.
And then cut to the chase. Don't have, just
Allah.
say, I mean, you've seen it on my phone calls.
Yes.
I really
What do you need? What's happening?
cut to the chase. Don't go round. Ladies, we have this thing of, I was thinking,
Nilikuwa naona.
get to the point.
How was that personality with now your mother? Because I know they're not similar. People are different. Most of the time, people marry people who are different with them. Do you feel like they were similar, or they
They
were?
complemented each other.
Yeah.
They complemented each other. One was very, he used to cut a lot to the chase, and the other person fits into the chase.
Ah.
Yeah. So
she
she'll
knows how
fit
to
in.
be social and to understand a few social cues that he might not
Yeah.
get when he's being too.
Exactly. And then she could calm him down when he's too fast in the chase. Because again, you know, in business, my dad taught me you have to have some speed. Successful people are not lazy. You have to move quickly because of competition. You have to be able to think at the speed of lightning. If you have an idea, run with it and execute. You can't be slow.
Squeezy inaitwa, they call it action to bias. Bias to action.
Exactly.
You have to have a bias to action.
Exactly.
Now, who comes Shiko down? Because I know this girl, she quick. She's quick. You speak today, tomorrow she sent the proposal. Tomorrow, by 2 hours, Ashatuma, what's needed. Who slows you down? Girl, you too fast.
Inherently, I do have my downtime.
Yeah.
I mean, I love being home early. I love to come home to a good meal. I want to cook. That's downtime for me.
Yeah.
I love seeing my old friends. I have very old friends. I have
Yes.
friends from standard 1 I still talk
I
to.
get you.
I have friends from, you know, all over the world. We catch up. That's slow down for me. You know, I have friends we can call and just speak for 3-4 hours. Friends in South Africa,
Yeah.
Senegal, all over. And deep, meaningful friendships that are honest. And sometimes lying on the couch is just, it's soul care.
It's enough.
It's enough. Just relaxing and not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my downtime, and yeah, it
What-
works.
One of the scary things that is happening is that sitting on the couch. We have a generation where we're sitting in the couch more than working. And we've really exalted laziness. There's even a song that says, "This morning I don't feel like doing anything." It's by Bruno Mars. And you'll see even the memes. Oh, me, I can't fight. I'm just lazy. We've really exalted sitting on the couch a whole day. And there are moments like that. Some, fueled by mental health issues, others, lifestyle. It's risky to be caught up in that. As a young person, I would say it's very easy to be caught up in that, sitting on the couch watching Netflix the whole day. It's very easy. How do you remove yourself? You're lucky enough that you were able to be put in all these classes, which I would like experiences too. My dad, immediately after high school, he never wanted me to be home. He always wanted to nafanya courses, computer course, just course. Just do not stay in this house.
Yeah.
He never, for some reason, he did not want us in his house. And now that we've left, he wants us back. Mr. Sa, what's your issue? Anyway, such is life. Being caught up in that mess of seeing laziness and mental health issues encompass our youth is a big risk, because then when do we do business? What would you say to the youth? Because I'm telling you, it's a problem. People can sit on the couch from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wake up, go pee, come back. That's all. That's been the day.
Can I be honest? Our youth need a lot of mentorship.
Yeah.
The fact that you've done something before somebody means you know something they don't. We need to mentor the youth, and that's something I take very passionate. I'm mentoring a lot in my old school.
Yeah.
I'm mentoring a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
But mentorship means you have to also open your mind.
Allah.
You cannot stay where you are and expect to be mentored. You have to challenge the person you want mentorship from and open up yourself to receive that mentorship. So
It's
if
two
it
ways,
means
yeah.
you intern at no cost, which is what we did when we were starting out,
Yeah.
get into a company, get the experience, start with that 15K salo, but get out there, because employment opportunities don't come on the couch.
Of course.
They don't. Mental health, I understand. They're dealing with more issues than we were before. Life is more expensive even now. It's not easy to afford 1, 2, 3 things that
Yes.
we could afford back in the day.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk more. have conversations even like this with the younger guys.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying, if any opportunity, I will talk to all the young guys. I need the girls to know you have to work hard. You can't ask for money for fare and for hair. That has to stop.
Those are maintenance things
Work.
you should be able to do
Earn
yourself.
your 500 for your hair.
Mm.
It's your 500. You can even go and buy eggs, all the eggs you want to buy for that 500. But learn to earn and live the life that you want.
Yeah.
I've learned that therapy is okay. It's fine to go
Oh,
for
you're
therapy.
welcome. You understand that therapy is essential.
Therapy is important because there's so many. Joyce Meyer says the biggest battlefield is of the
Mind.
because the left side is telling the right side. The right side is telling, it's a fight. Here you're being told you're inadequate. Here you're being told you can't
The world
do.
is telling you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the mind has to be tempered with, and therapy is fine. Talking to each other is fine. I honestly must tell you something from a mental perspective. For me, if you're not honest with me, I will not have a relationship with you. That is professional and personal.
You have to say where you are and
Let's
what's happening.
have the hard conversations so that we tackle them.
Yeah.
The problem with us is right now I'll call you Kate and I'll be like, how are you doing? I'm fine. You're not.
Those tough
We meet
conversations.
in at cafe, we have brunch, we clink, and we go home. You're crying on your couch. Me, I'm enjoying my evening. What friendship is that?
It's not honest.
Yeah.
Damn. How essential is mentorship? Of course, you get it when you understand what mentorship is all about. Shiko's already said it. You have to be open to receive and you have to be open to learn and you have to be open to ask more from your mentors, that even them, they give you something back. Who are some of the big mentors that you've worked with in your course of life?
There's so many. I
Yeah.
can't even mention.
No, but kuna wale top of the list wale unasikia, hawa nawakumbuka bado. And I feel like they were very significant in maybe Kipusa Beauty or K Copies or Kipusa Home.
The late founder of Nibs, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Lizzie broke my heart.
Why?
Auntie Lizzie, her farewell broke my heart. She built Nibs from nothing.
Lizzie Wanyuke.
Lizzie Wanyuike,
Yeah.
she was such a go-getter and she helped so many people. So even on her business journey, she had a lot of impact.
Okay.
She's the one who taught me, as much as you are doing this, you're running your businesses, you have to touch people's hearts. She would pay for people's school fees in her own school. I mean, she was an amazing lady. She spoke a lot to me in my life, my younger life.
Yeah.
She always used to say business and church go together.
Allah.
So she was so active in the church.
Yeah.
Giving back and stuff like that. So currently I'm actually very active in my church.
I hear you.
And she had a different way of seeing things.
Okay.
She would take risks. She didn't feel scared.
Starting a school like
She didn't
that
feel scared.
is not a game for the weak.
No, she was risky. So she was like my top mentor. There
Yeah.
are many others. I know they wouldn't want to be mentioned, but I've learned men are also very good mentors.
Yes.
Men are not emotional. Then they are big on what is the goal? What is the plan? Do it.
Yeah.
Period.
What about the female perspective? Because emotions are essential to some point. Lizzie was telling you have to touch people's lives. That was the motherly version of her, looking
Yes.
beyond just the students that she teaches. How does she go beyond? What about the female mentors that you've worked with?
They are emotional, but only to a certain extent. They
Okay.
don't, the rationale is bigger.
Mm.
Especially when you have women who are successful in your life and are high achievers.
Yes.
It's all about their mindset.
Yeah.
It's not about Kate doesn't like me because I look like this. No. It's all about we have a goal, we need to achieve it.
There's something I remember in corporate life, because I know you've been in corporate for a while. Big corporates, by the way. She don't play small games. There are always struggles for people to be in corporate and to keep their head up high, and always this office politics and things like that. You left the corporate life to start your business. And how do people handle corporate life? Because I won't lie, I struggle with office politics. I just think performance equals let's just do it. But then I came to realize the hard way, performance does not always equate to either position or going up in the hierarchy. It's not always because you do a good job that you will keep the job. And I don't know if you've experienced it or how people handle it.
Mine was relationship based because I was an ad girl. So
Yes.
marketing created a lot of good relationships with my customers, with my clients, and then also with internally in the office. Today, our clients at Kipusa are from the agency.
Allah.
Clients I used to serve back in the day. So I mean, it's just maintaining relationships.
Yes.
Performance, you can have an average performer, you can have a high performer, but relationships, somebody who's able to apply themselves with different people in different ways. For me, it's relationships.
Yes.
That's what kept me going.
There's a shift in relationships between the way Gen Zs are handling their relationships in the office versus us millennials and how we handle it. They're very strict. Like, there's one rule with the Gen Zs, and I respect it. I know work is from 8 to 5. If it gets past 5, they're not touching the office, they're not touching the work. Very strict on leave days and things like, which I know it is very essential to do that so that you respect your time. And versus millennials and boomers and even Gen X. Gen X would be called into work even in the middle of the night and still show up because they're even grateful that they have a job. But with Gen Zs, not so keen on, being either too flexible to the work. And I understand it's stemming from, this is my time. I have given you my 8 to 5 tosheka na hiyo. But then I'm like, is that realistic in every word? Because then it sometimes looks like that maybe they're not appreciative of even getting a job. The way Gen Z do work, the way millennials work, and the way boomers work, very different. We're working in very different generations. And I don't know how you handle that as a business person.
They have to adapt.
Allah?
They have to adapt.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have to add value. You can't just come and do something within a certain time and then leave. What if you don't achieve? What have we done?
Well, there was a bad day. We wait for God tomorrow.
No, you have to exert yourself. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say this, but I don't believe in a work-life balance. There's nothing like that.
Girl, you get cancelled for that.
Let me
Okay, not
tell,
really cancelled, but you get what I mean. Yeah.
let me tell you why. Entrepreneurship is lonely. It's a long journey by yourself. You're visualizing this dream. Your vision has to come to pass. You're the one who has to wake up at 3 a.m. to think about this and that and that. You're the one who has to fight with so and so and so about this vision coming to pass. Excuse me. It's not easy. If I said my business has my time from 8 to 5, I don't think I would be where I am today.
As an entrepreneur.
It means 3 a.m. there's a problem. We have to sort it out. You get up and sort it.
Allah.
Bill Gates said something in his book, The Speed of Doing Business. He says, the fact that some people come in at 8 and leave at 5 to run their businesses doesn't mean you do it the same way. You can come in earlier and even leave later and do more.
Yeah.
You'll be ahead.
Yes.
You'll be ahead. So I don't subscribe to that. I think you have to exert yourself. You have to add value. You have to do better.
If you want it to work.
If you want to get to the baby girl lifestyle, because it doesn't come in an elevator.
Oh, the baby girl lifestyle. It looks
doesn't.
beautiful, I won't lie. The baby girl lifestyle looks so good.
It doesn't come
Anyone
in an
would
elevator.
want it. Anyone would need it.
It doesn't come in an elevator. It's not kind.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not that the road is not bumpy. The more you grow, the more drama you'll see.
Yes.
It doesn't get easier.
You just become stronger.
Exactly.
I've seen that quote before.
Yeah.
People asking, oh, I'm 25, what do I do? And I'm you just get stronger. It doesn't get easier. You just become stronger.
Exactly.
And what does strength of a woman look like to you?
Oh, that's a beautiful question.
Yes.
I was discussing that with a friend the other day. Strength of a woman means having more authentic relationships. Strength of a woman means supporting and lifting other women, not putting them down. Strength of a woman means, okay, Kate has called me for this. I am so camera shy, but I am coming. Strength of a woman means impacting and also glowing, sharing your glow. It's not keeping it for yourself.
Yes.
Strength of a woman means I'm struggling. I have a right to share and tell my inner circle I'm struggling with this. My weakness doesn't mean I'm defeated.
Yes.
I'm still a strong woman because I can accept that I do have a weakness in something.
Yeah.
Strength of a woman means I don't quit when it's hard. I get stronger. I look for more options. I find more ways of doing stuff. Strength of a woman means, hey, I may be here, but sometimes I need to humble myself and come down and listen. I need to come down and understand. I need to put myself in some positions that I don't like.
Yeah.
To understand things better.
Okay.
Yes. Strength of a woman means I am not affected by social norms, isms, things like, oh, Kate looks like this on her Instagram. No, I am beautifully and wonderfully made in
In my
God's
own shape.
image,
Yeah.
and I'm content.
The,
Comparison is a thief of all joy, and that's what many leaders do.
I can imagine. And you see, Kwanzaa, in this day and age where comparison is being put in front of your face, Instagram posts, Instagram lifestyle, where people see other people's lifestyle, you want to keep up. I won't lie. I know there are people you've met who
Yeah.
want to keep up with you, and it's kind of
But I
it's
keep
disheartening.
telling them it's hard. They don't know how I'm crying at 8 p.m. in the shower because something went wrong that I really wanted to go right during the day.
Yeah.
Or you've had a day where everything has gone wrong. And it happens. Everything, every branch, every person has gone wrong.
It was Friday the 13th. Okay,
You're
not
like,
today, but
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you just get home and you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done for the day.
You've had those days.
Yes, I'm done.
Like, ama tufunge branches zote tukalale.
It's been an option because you're tired. You're
Okay.
like, I'm done. No one is getting it right. Everyone is on my back about this. Something has gone wrong, maybe technical, something.
Who do you go to in times like this?
God. I pray so much. I commit my businesses every morning.
To God.
Habakkuk tells us, write your vision, make it come to pass. I write and I present my vision to God.
How heavy is community for you? Because I do understand being able to speak to God. And I feel like sometimes you're speaking to God, you're speaking to yourself because He's within you. How essential is community for you? Because um as we when we look at the way we were raised and the way our parents were raised, they really had a community-based kind of reality, especially if they're in mashinani. There's really community. Mashinani kunakuwa na community sana. Right now, community really is in small sections. Oh, girls' club, or the people you go to church with. The community has changed. The version of community has really changed because now we're living in our different houses and apartments, in our homes. Everyone is locking themselves. How essential is community for you?
It is essential.
Mm,
Excuse me. It is essential, but I have a very small community.
okay.
So I have my few aunties, uncles who I can call for, especially when there are personal issues.
Mm,
My friends, very few.
yeah.
Very few.
Wangapi hesabu?
I have one friend who we can talk with every day and every night and every hour, and she knows herself. And it's over sometimes nothing, and then it's sometimes over everything.
Yeah.
Yani, it's coming down. It's the roof has poured. Help. And we can go laugh and just, have a drink together and just, ease out. We just wusa.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I've realized I can't blame the community for not giving me what I want because sometimes people don't even know how to be that community. So I keep it small
Mm.
and then honest.
Is this a lesson you learned early ama baadaye baadaye?
Early, very early.
Mapema.
Very
Lucky you.
early.
Me, I learned it quite late.
No, very early. Very early. In university,
Yeah.
I was like that.
You kept it small.
Yeah, though I do love hosting my small community. Unfortunately, most of my community don't live in Kenya, so
Yeah.
they're all over the world. So when they come, we commune
Yeah.
completely. Just sit on the dining table and have honest conversation.
I say that because I in a capitalistic world, we have really pushed for individualism, wajipange mambo yangu, mambo yangu, mambo yangu. And I'm like, we just the episode before that, we had a lady who was going for a procedure. She wanted to do tubulation. And she did the procedure, and you have to leave and go home. And I was like, girl, who's taking care of you when you're sick? Like, hey, I know living a lot of women living by themselves, living their own lives. It looks all glam and great, but then when it's because she came from a surgical procedure and going home alone, it's like, girl, community is essential because of those moments. It's
Exactly.
not an everyday thing. It's those moments that you have to have, because I know we've really pushed the individualism, doctrine a lot. Mambo yangu, my child, my thing. We've never really thought of community like that. But I know if you could trade it, you'd have all your African people here.
Not necessarily. No, I'm a very quiet person. Business
Yeah.
people, we are not noisy when we are in our private
Life.
life.
Yeah.
Quiet people. We talk because of business. We
Mm.
talk because of customers. We talk because you have suppliers. We talk because you have to engage. You have stakeholders. You have people here and there who want to know what you're about.
Yes.
But we're quiet people. We're very quiet people.
I want to ask something. And I know we
Yeah.
have to go there. There's
Yeah.
something that I've seen with women a lot when you're getting into business. You see women using the feminine koi to be able to get, go ahead. Because also without that, we struggle because business, the capitalistic business, the model of business in the world and in Kenya is very masculine. Even in politics,
True.
I've sat with women in politics, and in any industry, they're like, yo, it's very masculine, it's very bulldozer. And I know there are times you'd walk into a room and then be like, this girl, what is she telling us? You know, I know you've gotten that. I know you cannot lie
They
to
always
me.
ask which school I'm going to. They don't even.
Aka kanasema nini? And you know, especially when you're a woman and you're a beautiful woman, people are like, you know, they might not take you seriously at first until you're dropping names and numbers, and especially numbers. Then they're like, okay, let's listen to what is here. How do you handle that? Because at first you might be dismissed because of the fact that you're a woman, and then now they're like, okay, aya, tuambie.
I think I've learned to bring my excuse me, I've learned to bring my brain to the table,
Okay.
not my looks. So I come with my ammunition, which is my brain and all the numbers and everything that's needed. The assumptions are always there. They'll always be there. Actually, to be honest, I don't feel like I need to demystify or explain myself. You will reject me today and I'll be back tomorrow. Lucky.
Allah.
Yes, I've been told your rich father owns the businesses. I've been told your rich husband owns the businesses. Where is he?
Allah.
And you've been told, so where's your partner? And I'm wondering, which partner?
Especially that question. It's always like,
They always think there's somebody else who
we
has
don't need to
sent
talk
you.
to you. We need to talk to
The
man
main
behind.
person.
Akwapi?
Exactly. And then when they look at your CR12 and all, they're like, oh my God, she is the main person. And it feels terribly nice to be underestimated. I love it because at the end of the day, they now have to come down and talk to you
Allah.
and negotiate with you, and you put your agenda and they're like, okay, we recently were looking for a space somewhere, and he said, but you don't look like anything. You look
Like
you
anything.
don't
What is
look like,
anything?
what have you built? I sent him the company profile and he said, I mean, we can't take somebody who's just starting out, and dismissed me and hang up.
You see, me, I'm getting mad.
And they went to our social
I'm getting
media
pissed.
and he saw 6 outlets. He went to my LinkedIn. He said, oh my God, she is the owner. And he called me. And I said, God, the God I serve, you underestimate me, you'll come back.
Oprah says it. She says she likes to be underestimated.
I also
Please
love it.
underestimate
I
me.
love it. Underestimate me all you want. My cards are waiting.
Allah.
My cards are waiting.
I've grown up really proving my intelligence. It's something, I'm glad you said it. You're working with your brain, and something my dad always taught me. Walk with your brain. You might have the face, but walk with it first. Because if you use your physical, it could change, and it will change the narrative. And one of the toughest things to do is to know when to switch off. Because it's not every time Shiko has to be the brightest in the room.
No.
How do you learn that?
No.
Yeah.
A mentor of mine actually tells me, in all your board meetings, your advisory board meetings, be slow to speak. Don't start attacking your
Please
board
tell me
and they're
again.
attacking you.
Sikusikia.
Be
Rudia.
slow to speak. You need to be slow to speak. And sometimes if you don't have the answer, I will get back to you is actually an answer.
Yeah, okay.
Let me think on it, I'll get back to you. The problem with us women is we are very fast with our mouths. You need to learn how to
If you want to
it.
talk to me direct.
You need to tone down, and you need to be slow. Because sometimes your mouth can put you in a situation that your brain didn't plan for. So if you're not sure, take your time. I've learned to speak slowly. I've learned to wait. I've learned to understand things. I've learned to be like, okay, ask questions, even if it's the dumbest question. Ask. You'd rather ask than not ask. I've learned to read things which I don't normally like reading so that I can understand scenarios and how to deal with things. The late Mengi talks so much about how to deal with business, and he applauds Kenyans for how we do business. If only Kenyans knew that there are people across the border who actually value how fast we move with our business.
Yeah.
So I've just learned, bring your brain, bring your A game. Don't go unprepared. Problem with us babes, we think that, oh, I'm pretty, I'm cute. I'm just going to walk in there and they'll be so excited. No. Nobody cares, by the way. It's good to look good, yeah?
Yeah, it's essential.
But your brain has to come to the table.
Bring your brain first.
Bring your A game. And I always say that's your brain. Bring your A game. Learn to be able to even associate with people in different fields because they make your A game go higher. Yeah.
I feel like, Kashiko, you came here to attack me. And I don't like to be attacked in my own
I'm
podcast. This is my
sorry.
podcast.
I'm
Utakuja hapa
sorry.
kuniattack.
Akipolo, situpe mawe.
Sio mzuri.
Pole. I'm
Ukuja hapa
sorry.
kuniattack.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I will not allow
It's
it.
Friday. I'm sorry. It's
God
Friday.
damn it. But it is essential. Be slow to
Yes.
speak. Because I have witnessed it. Later, we were somewhere and I was like, this girl, she's not speaking the way she's speaking fast in usually her outlets. Say, yeah, may slow down because we're in a different firm. I'm like, Shiko, can you?
Where was this?
Well, we had gone for dinner. I think you forget so much.
Oh, yes.
And you were
yes.
so coy, so chill.
Yeah.
You're not quick with it. And I was
Yeah.
like, you have to learn. And you see, that's the thing about femininity, especially growing up with the era that we grew up. Go to school, go to hockey, do that. We were really taught to move fast.
Mm.
And women were not taught femininity and how to work with it and use it in different realms.
We weren't.
Who taught you?
So I love hanging out with older women.
Okay.
I love old women so much. The Bible even tells us old women can teach young women. Do you know what we're going through now? Our parents went through. Our mothers went
What are you
through it.
saying?
They know it so well. You guys like pretending like you're the special breed. We are not. Every woman, ask a lady of 90 right now, she'll give you her advice, and it's the same as similar to now.
Yeah.
So I've learned to just hang around older ladies, have older people around me, and then learn from them. And I ask them, do you know someone with experience won't be scared to tell you what the reality is? Yeah, they'll be like, I don't think you're doing right there.
Yeah.
Or I don't think this will work for you the way you're doing this. So I've learned to just ask and push my agenda and just hang around older people. I don't know everything. And I've learned, me as an older person, to also impact the younger girls behind me and tell them, yo, men are good, but don't use them for fare. Don't. That is not how it's gonna be. Work for your fare. Work
for the
your,
little.
work for
Jipange.
you.
Yeah.
Jipange, someone will come and compliment you.
Yes.
Jipange, build what you can. Building things are not easy. Even a house, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Inaanguka, the weather goes bad, what are you gonna do?
Fundi wanapotea.
You're stolen from.
Allah.
So it's not easy, and nothing good comes easy. I don't think anything comes easy overnight. Not at all. Yeah.
The journey of Kipusa beauty is simply beautiful. I have taken so much, and I hope you have as well. Shiko, I'd really want to know, what is the one mantra you go by as Lorraine Wajiko?
I keep God first in everything.
Yeah.
If I Kipusa home, which is a COVID business, wouldn't be there if it wasn't for God. Kipusa Prince wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for God, and Kipusa Beauty wouldn't have been there because of God, because I have to consult. I consult, I pray. If he says we are going, everything is made
How
available.
does he tell you you're
I
going?
hear him. He talks to me.
Oh, in different ways.
He talks to me in different ways. Or even people. You may find I tell you, Kate, I'm thinking about this. And then you answer based on the prayer I've made last night. And you don't know you're answering. You don't know, because I've asked God, where will the money come from? Okay, how will we get the money? Okay, but I don't even have the money now. You'll find some, hey, and you know, Youth Fund are giving a loan of this, a 1% for women under 35. I'm like, did this girl sleep in my dreams? Or so it's he answers. I know God speaks in different ways. Sometimes I'd listen to a song and it's answering me. Yeah. And through people.
Yeah.
I've had such, Kate, if there's one thing I can tell you, I have supportive people in my life. Supportive people. And by the way, not family related.
Yeah.
Supportive people.
Wow.
Strangers, people who have been introduced to me through people who just watch your LinkedIn and they're like, wow, she's working on building something. Can we call her and see if she's interested in this? People who just see your journey and they decide to invest willingly are very supportive people. I have a supportive community, especially a professional supportive community.
You have to check out Kipusa Enterprises. Our time is up. We had such a good time. But remember, it's all about African leaders and African stories. If there's anything you've picked up from our Kipusa here today, which is Shiko, is put God first. He's the center of every conversation. If you speak to him, he will speak to you. And that is one of the messages I have today. Thank you so much for watching. This is season 3 of the POV podcast.